This is Judy Iran interviewing Sarah Seidner. It's June 10th, 1990, for the archives. Sarah, where did you grow up? Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in 1hr18m, Czechoslovakia.
Can you spell that? Is that?
C-H-E, Czechoslovakia. Let's see, they spell it different here. C-K-S-L-O-V-I-E.
And
Kolachava.
And that's, I'm going to spell it how your husband put it, K-O-L-O-C-Z-A-W-A.
Yeah.
H-O-R-B.
Yeah.
Is that right? They want us to spell these out. And you were born when?
1926.
Okay. Who was in your family?
Who is in my family?
Who was in your family?
Now?
Your mother and your father? No, and brothers and sisters?
Well, it was a big family.
Mm-hmm.
It was my grandma and my daddy, my mother, and my sister, two of them got married. They were not home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
So we had the list of your oldest brother, Ignaz.
Oh, Ignaz was married. He was not home. He was taken from their town where he was living.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so is my sisters.
Gittel
and Chaya. They were taken in 39, 40 once.
And then Shmuel?
They never. Shmuel was not in concentration camp, but he was hiding out in Poland.
Uh-huh.
Somebody hid him out.
Uh-huh.
So he died not long ago.
Huh.
It's about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, so he had a long life.
Yeah.
And Leah?
And Leah's here in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Can you say some about what life was like when you were a youngster? Those first years of your life, the first 10 years or so?
What can I tell you? We were going to school.
Uh-huh.
And it was happy and nice, till they started talk about the Germans, what the Germans doing with the Jews.
Uh-huh. Do you have first memories of that?
A lot of memories.
A lot of memories of the beginnings.
Sure, they start take us to the ghettos, and they start to give us yellow stars, Jewish stars on the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
Without a Jewish star, we couldn't go nowhere.
You couldn't go around.
No.
Let me ask you first about your school. You went to public school or?
Public.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was too young and
uh-huh.
didn't have a chance to go to college because they start.
Yeah. You had mostly Jewish friends, or you had non-Jewish friends too?
Oh, we was mixed, we Jewish friends and not Jewish friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
your family was a religious family, or
yeah.
Uh-huh. Can you say some about that? How you observed holidays?
Well, I observed when the dates, the Rosh Hashanah, the Shabbos, and every Saturday we were going to the synagogues, and we observed very nice too.
That was an important part of your family. Yeah.
Shabbos, we get together with friends, and sitting and talking, and children play together.
Yes.
So, but I just didn't have a long time freedom to do these things. See, because then they start to take us away, and everybody was sitting in their homes till they were taking us.
I'm just going to ask you some questions about some of those early times. The kind of house or apartment that your family lived in?
A house.
What, it was a house?
Yeah.
And what
we lived in a home, a nice home, like they call it here, a log cabin. That's what
Is that right?
We have a nice home.
And
With land, we had land.
Is that right?
Yeah, we had land.
Do you remember some of the things in the house? What some of the things looked like?
Just normal, like here. But the only thing in those days, you know, they didn't have the bathrooms inside.
Right?
It was by the house.
It was outside?
Yeah, outside. But it was nice, clean, you know. Just.
Do you have a memory of some of the things in your room when you were a girl?
It's nothing really to... Of course, we didn't have toys like we give today the children and things, but we were happy whatever we had.
What kinds of things besides school were you involved in when you were a youngster? Were you involved in?
Well, you know, you come home from a school, you do your lessons, you do your homework, until what and when we are ready to go to sleep. So...
was there music in your home?
Radios. Radio, of course, no television. In that time, I don't think we had here. You all didn't have no television here.
Do you remember when the war broke out? Do you remember? Do you have memories of some of that?
In '39, they already start, you know, to take people. And in '41, they took people. You know, I was in. They took us away in '43, but till '43, till they took us, we suffered. See, we couldn't have enjoyment, just like you ask me questions, what the memories. You know, we couldn't go on the streets without telling us you damn Jew or something, you know.
They would yell names at you?
Yeah, sure.
And that's with you wearing the yellow star?
That's why, so they can know who it is.
Do you remember the first time you put the yellow star on? Do you have a memory of that first time that you had to wear the yellow star?
Well, we had to put on ourselves the yellow stars. See, and you couldn't go on the streets without a yellow star.
Yes.
In that time.
Did you sew that on yourself, or did your mother do it?
Well, I think my mother did it. But I could have done too, probably.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then when you went outside to shop or to anything, you had to wear your yellow star.
That's right.
And people would yell at you on the street?
Yeah, you know, the kids, you know, in Holland scream, you know, you so-and-so, you know, you Jew, and different names.
Did any of the people who had been your friend turn against you? Do you have memory?
Of course, they all turned against the Jews, you know, on occasion like that.
Some people who
even the friends, sure.
Your little children who were your friends. Can you tell me more about that at all?
Well, what can I say, you know? That's how it was till they took us away.
Was that a sudden change, or did it happen more gradually?
It was a sudden change. Then they heard that the Germans come after the Jews, you know. So till they took us away.
Did your family?
We had.
I'm sorry.
We had all kind of, you know, how you call it, harassments.
That's right. That's what it's called.
So.
Sarah, do you have, are there specific things you remember about the very beginnings of that, of learning about the Germans and that the Germans were going to come to Czechoslovakia?
No, in school we didn't have no speeches from the teachers or something. No.
Do you remember
it was outside.
Your parents being worried? Were your parents?
We always worried.
Is that right? So there was a lot of worry inside the house.
So we would know what you think.
What was going on?
They were talking that we go into the gas chambers, and being a little kid, you know. So in that time, it's sure it was very.
Your father and worked. Your father had work.
We had a how can I call, like a bar.
A bar.
Yeah. And we had a nice living.
He was able to work until when?
Well, they were about 55 years old, my mother and daddy.
Oh.
Nice, still young people. But, you know, in those couple of years, before they start to talk and they start to worrying what's going to become with the children, they didn't worry about themselves, but about us, about the kids.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because one of our married daughter with 3 children got killed in 41. They took her to Poland.
Who's
Germans.
That? Who was that?
That was Gittel.
Gittel.
Yeah, and they killed her up there with 2 children. She had 4 kids, and then they find him dead in Tallis and Twillen with 2 children on their hands.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How did you hear about that?
Some people, but came from there. They took them up there, but they was hidden and through the woods. They came back and they said. But you know, they was going around that they saw them. And they shot her. They threw her in the water with 2 children and shot her in the water.
Who is that?
Well, Germans. Yeah. So. And that's about it in that time, you know.
Sarah, did they set up a ghetto where you lived?
Yeah.
And
they set up a ghetto. They gave us there once a day to eat. And we were waiting, you know, for to transport us to Auschwitz.
You were taken out of your home? You were ordered out of your home?
Yes.
Was that on just one day you were sent an order and taken to the ghetto?
They were taken town by town,
town
you
by
know.
town.
Yeah, they were taken town by town.
And so you knew it was coming?
Oh, sure. We knew. When the way you asked me how in the home, how was the life? The life was bitter, and when we find out what the Germans planning to do, so it was bitter times, you know, in that time.
Yes. Would you describe the ghetto some? Was it a walled-off ghetto or a
No, it was
fence?
barracks.
It was barracks.
It was barracks. It belonged, let's say, maybe like a school, a big, and you know, they started to be very ugly. It was Germans in there supervising SS, and you know, it was Jews with beards. They started to pull at them. The girls, they used to tear off the earrings with the ears, you know, that kind of stuff they did.
Yes, where was the ghetto? Was that
the ghetto was in Hust.
So that was a different town you were taken to?
Yeah, they were taking us out entirely to
How were you taken there?
By trucks.
By trucks?
Yeah. It was not really far. But from there, they took us in trains like the horses, you know, in those wagons. Has a little window on the side.
A little window on the side? This is in the trains?
A train where they taking animals, you know, I mean horses and things like that. So.
The trucks that you were taken to the ghetto in, was that something you could sit down in, or you were you stood up?
Just like
packed together?
Yeah.
In the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And how far was that to get to that ghetto?
Well, it probably about 4 or 5 hours.
Standing up in the back
Yeah.
of that truck. Who went in the truck? You and your mother and father?
Yeah, the whole family.
Everybody was
Yeah.
together then?
Yeah. No, well, just me and my sister, Leah.
Leah.
And that's about it. The others were married. They were taken at a different time.
That's when they were taken
See,
different time.
yeah.
And
so,
for how long were you in the ghetto?
in the ghetto, we were about, as I told you, I can't remember exactly the dates. We were taken about 43. They took us.
1943?
Yeah. It's, in the beginning of 43.
And you were in the ghetto?
And we were go from the ghettos. From the ghettos, they took us to Auschwitz.
In about when was that? What time of year was that? The beginning of the year
The beginning
you were taken
of
to the ghetto?
Yes.
And then about when were you taken to the concentration camp, to Auschwitz?
And then,
soon after? Is that right?
in the 43, they were taking us from the ghettos to Auschwitz.
Thank you. So in 1941 you went to the ghetto.
Yeah.
In 1943.
We started already to suffer between 41 and 42.
I see.
You know, I don't remember exactly really the date, but in 43 they took us to Auschwitz.
That's to Auschwitz.
From the ghettos.
And was
we
that
got about a year in the ghettos.
about a year?
About a year. I think probably 42.
Life in the ghetto was very hard.
Oh yes.
This is
yeah.
What was a typical day
like? We were
like?
waiting for our death,
You
you
were
know.
waiting for death.
Yeah, they were like animals to the people. You know, the SS was staying with those hand sables or whatever you call them, and they used to stick the men in their stomachs, and it was horrible.
You have memories of what you saw, just
sure.
even in the ghetto.
Yeah,
And,
that's right. We knew what we're going to. See.
What was a day like in the ghetto? How did you spend a day?
In misery.
In misery?
Sure.
Just sitting, or did they make you work?
Sitting,
or
going, or talking, you know, the people, what's going to be, and everybody was scared. I mean, you know.
Did people kind of hang together and help one another?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Sure.
Did people try to escape from the ghetto?
They couldn't. There was soldiers around the ghettos.
So you never heard of anybody
No.
escaping like that?
No.
When it came time to go to Auschwitz, did you have any warning?
No, they just took us to the railroad stations, and they just packed us into the...
Just one day they said, today we're going, like that?
No, they didn't tell us nothing. They just was taking us without information, without nothing.
Okay.
They just told that whoever has rings or gold or things like that, to throw it on the floor. See,
do you remember taking off anything? Did you have any rings?
Oh, sure. Oh, you know, a kid. Sure, I had a ring. I had earrings.
And you took them off
we
then?
took them off, because if not, they tear them off. See, so I had an aunt. She didn't have no children, so I was named after her sister, and she gave me all the gold she had. So I sewed it in a coat.
Oh.
And seams, you know, sewed around all kind of stuff. But they took from us away those things, the coats, and then they knew they find, and they had some people that they looked over, and the gold was staying, you know, and they took away a lot of gold from.
When you went from the ghetto to Auschwitz, what did you take with you?
Nothing.
Just what you were wearing?
We couldn't take nothing. In Auschwitz, we had to throw down everything. As I told you before, when they took us, we went to the barracks, so they took us apart, the young people on one side, the older people they let down on the other side. They took them to the showers, to give them showers. They cleaned them, and they put some junk on their heads, you know, and they took them to the gas chambers.
Right away, right
yes. And we thought we'd go on too, but they gave us dresses, those striped, like I told you, jail dresses, those striped ones. And they took us to work.
Right
We
there.
stayed in Auschwitz. I mean, we stayed in Auschwitz about 6-7 months. And from Auschwitz, whoever wanted to volunteer to work. So me and my sister volunteered to work. So we were sure that we maybe we have a better chance to live than to
so
stay
you
there.
volunteered
Yeah.
to work then?
We volunteered to
What did
work.
your mother tell you?
Huh?
What did your mother tell you?
What did your mother tell you?
My mother told us
Just take your time.
and we always did.
You and your sister?
Mhm.
That was good advice. When you got to Auschwitz, were you separated from your mother right then?
Yeah,
So your mother and your father were taken
Oh.
one way,
yeah,
and that's the last you saw them?
yeah.
And she told you then, hold hands together
Mhm.
and don't be separated.
And we always did.
You always did.
So that was the end of it.
Sarah, do you remember some of the officers at Auschwitz? Their names,
And
what they looked like? Do you remember?
well, it was a lot of there where we were liberated. I mean, yeah, where we were liberated, we saw them dead. Some
You saw
of
them
them.
dead. Is that right?
Yeah, and the Hauptscharführer, that the commandant, you know, we find some pictures close to the water there where they supposed us to kill us in the water. They wanted to dump us in the water. And we find these pictures there, so we just figured they're all dead there. But we had soldiers, you know, the SS guys in black outfits. So who knows their names? They never would tell us their names.
When did any of them have any physical contact with you?
Not with me, but they had. They had a lot of different camps. It was there. They ruined a lot of girls, a lot of people.
Any of your friends that
Not
happened to?
we were about 800 girls together, a camp. We were never molested from them like other camps. Other camps were terrible. A lot of places and a lot of not. But we were lucky.
There were 800 girls?
800 an hour.
That's in Auschwitz?
That's
or
no,
in
in Auschwitz was a lot of them. There where we used to work.
Oh, where you
Yeah.
worked?
Yeah.
And pardon me for trying to follow here.
No, it's
but
okay.
where you worked was after Auschwitz?
After Auschwitz, they took us to Danzig. We didn't finish that. To Danzig. In Gdansk, we were working in an airport. We were working with cement and men's work, you know, physical.
Is that right? Doing what? What did you?
It's cement and everything.
Pouring cement? Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you would have been about 17 or 18 years old then?
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah,
And your sister was just a little bit older?
yeah.
And you were doing man's work, really
Yeah,
lifting
sure.
and trying to be useful.
And we were digging bunkers for the soldiers, you know,
Yes.
where they're going for war and they're going in those
Mhm.
bunkers. That's what we had. They give you so many yards that you have to finish in a day.
Is that right? And you just had to work till that was
That's
done.
right.
You went from out again. I apologize
Yeah,
for not
it's
following.
okay.
Auschwitz, you went to Stutthof, and Stutthof then
Stutthof.
to Danzig.
From Stutthof, they selected the girl who wants to go to work.
I see.
So we free volunteered.
That's when you volunteered.
Yes, so
How-
they took us to Danzig. That was also some kind of crematorium, Stutthof.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they were building another crematorium there.
Do you remember seeing that, or just
well,
hearing about it?
No, we were not there too long
Uh-huh.
because we went to work.
When you were taken from Auschwitz, they just herded you up and took you
Yeah.
away. You didn't know where you were going.
No.
Then, how did you and Leah stay together?
We just were lucky. We held hands and we volunteered together, and we just was lucky to be together. And wherever they needed something to work, we were the first ones to
It
go.
always would work.
Yeah. We just left the arm and just volunteered to
Yes.
work.
In Auschwitz, you also worked during the day. You had to work a lot
No.
during the day, or
No.
sat around a lot, or
We had a little bed. It's about this big. So at night we slept 6 girls over there. It just was like.
oh, is that right? All sandwiched in.
Yeah, sandwiched in, and nothing, no pillow, just board.
Just a board.
Uh-huh.
Anything to put over you? A blanket? Or
No,
nothing
nothing.
to. Was it cold? Or
Sure, it was cold.
so you would huddle
Yeah.
together like that.
That's right.
What was there to
So-
eat?
Well, to eat was not. They give you a little piece of bread for a week.
For a week.
And once a day we had soup. It was either rice or with a little potato in it or something. It just soup, just plain soup.
Were you hungry a lot, or did you stop being hungry?
Well, and start with, when we came from home, of course you was hungry. But then your stomach shrunk and got skinny and, just...
Nina told me something that they gave you something to stop you from menstruating.
They gave you something to stop
Yeah,
you from
they
menstruating?
give pills, yeah.
Pills?
They put in the soup,
Is that right?
yeah.
Huh.
They put in the soups.
And that worked? So it worked, so you stopped?
Never
you stopped?
menstruated,
Isn't that something?
never menstruated.
How was your health when you were in the Auschwitz and
Well,
Stutthof?
it was getting weak.
You were getting weak?
Yes, I was getting weak, and my sister, I thought I'm going to lose her, and
Is that right?
yeah,
Again from weakness?
weakness, yes. She got sick on
What kind of
the
sick did she get?
stomach, we were eating oats, we got hold of oats, and that what was hurting her
That
stomach.
hurt her stomach,
Yeah.
yes. Did you get any
So-
medical treatment?
No.
No.
If you complain, they take you out and they kill you.
Was there a selection every day, or
Of what?
when they would take people out and choose who would live and who would die? Did that happen every day?
No,
Or
no. If you complained or something,
then you,
it's a lot of kids, they complained that toothache, or maybe they hurt a finger, or this or that, and they take them out and line them up, and they shot.
did you see people being shot?
Yeah, I buried 40 people
Can you
myself.
is that right?
Me and my sister, we volunteered to bury them.
Can you tell me how that happened? Did they?
Well, it's also, sick, and a Jewish woman did it. They made a Jewish woman kill him. See, Czechoslovakia. So, so they took us somewhere 15 girls, and of the 15 girls, me and my sister was the one of them to volunteer to help
To
to bury him. So we went in some kind of wooden area, and we dig a big grave, 40 girls. So, and we even put them in there.
And you had to even put them
Yeah,
in there?
we
And
put
then
them in
cover
there. And we buried them, and then they took us back. We thought they going, on the end, they going to put us, the 15 girls, in there. But they didn't. They brought us back to where we were working.
What was that like to be around, again, so many dead people? Was it something where you cried
Well,
all the time?
it was, you was like a stone, you know. You was so that you probably, I don't know now, even if something happened, I'm crying or something, but in that time, you couldn't even shed a tear. See, you are so, I cannot even explain. That was very bitter, very bitter. Young kids, to see and to kill. So that's what happened of the 6 million Jews.
6 million. Sarah, did you have friends in the in Auschwitz or in Danzig? Did you have friends?
Well, it's over there. It's no friends. Hello and how you cannot be
Is
no
that right?
friends. You have to do your job, and that's it. We looked each other, and we have to be quiet. What
So
can
there
you
wasn't
talk?
community, that sort of thing.
No.
Did anybody try to
Was,
escape?
Well, I tried once to go out of it. That was in Auschwitz. I tried once to get out and to see, to look for. It was very hard.
In Auschwitz, you tried once to get out
Mm-hmm.
to see something, or
To see the parents.
to look for your mother. Is that right? How did you try to get out?
It's from the barrack. It's
From
not, see, outside the barracks you couldn't get out because it was electric wires. It was barbed wires. Like sometimes you see on the television.
Yes, I have seen that. But from the barracks, you could. Outside the barracks, there was the barbed wire.
Well, we
but
thought, they still live or something, so I sneaked out and.
you actually got out?
Yeah.
And what did you do?
I just was going on the side by the fence and to see if I can find my parents.
Oh, really?
So another woman that was already before me there, that was a Polish woman. And she told me, you better go to your barracks, they will kill you. So then I left.
So then you went back.
In Auschwitz, see, I'm Czechoslovakian, and there was all kind of people, Hungarian, Polish suffered more than somebody else, from early 39, I think, from 39 or 38.
It started earlier.
Yes. But when we came, they were very mean to us.
The Polish people were
Polish
mean?
people.
Other Jewish people
yes,
were very mean to you.
Very mean.
What,
I can help, I have to say that, but they were very mean.
What do you think that was? That was because they had suffered so much? Or?
They told us exactly. When they put us on the bed or something, they were offsetting couples, and they used to say, well, our parents are already a long time in the gas chambers. Your parents are now put in the gas chambers. And being mean, they used to report
Huh.
to the SS to make themselves, you know, do something, and they were mean.
Were there non-Jewish people in Auschwitz too? Non-Jewish?
Yeah, a lot of Catholics. We had soldiers. Well, that was not in Auschwitz, but a lot of Catholics.
Is that right?
Yeah, was there. So we don't know, but there where we were working, it was a lot of non-Jewish people. It was a lot of in Auschwitz, and priests.
Priests, is that
yes.
right?
In Danzig, there where we were working, it was American soldiers, a lot of them, and they used to get packages from home, and they used to get packages special, so where we were working with scent, and every girl what they wanted to give, they put it for us in the scent, a can of cheese or bread or canned goods. And in the morning when we came over there, we started to dig sand. We dig up from the soldiers. They used to give us matches, you know, little packs of matches, and they used to put the newspaper in there for us to know how far
what was
the
happening?
Russian, how far the American are, and this and that.
That was in Danzig?
That was in Danzig, yeah. That at least we heard a little news.
Had you heard anything up to then about the direction of the war?
We lived like dummies there.
So that was the first news you had about whether you were going to be rescued?
That's right. That's right.
The American soldiers then were aware of what was happening to you there?
Oh yes, sure. They were seeing if they catch us with the American soldiers to talk, or because they were, for example, we are here and they are about 100 yards from us further, but we made a contact even with the eyes to American people. They killed us.
Is that right? So it'd be really.
We couldn't have no contact. But we were scared to give us that stuff, you know. But somehow we managed it, you know, not to get caught.
That's a miracle.
But the American soldiers were very nice to us. Yeah. But they suffered themselves, you know. They were under, not as bad as we did, but they were under guards from the SS.
I'm not understanding that.
The guards,
the guards,
the
SS guards.
Yeah, protected them too.
For the
they are how you say it?
In prison?
Huh?
Were the American soldiers in prison?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. They were prisoners of war.
Prisoners of war, yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, I wasn't understanding that. So, but they were able to get information and to get
They
some
probably
little thing.
did. Got packages from home, so you know they knew everything.
I see. I see.
But they let us know every day how it goes, you know, with the situation. So we got liberated from the Russians at that time.
From the Russians.
Yeah.
Was there an underground, you know, a political organization trying to figure things out when you were in Auschwitz? You know,
we couldn't. We lived like dummies. We couldn't. We didn't have no information whatsoever from nobody.
And you were kept very separate from the men too. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
The women and the men.
We didn't have no contact whatsoever.
None at all.
In that camp where we were, it was nothing but girls. No men.
And that was in Danzig?
That was in Danzig.
In Danzig, that was all girls.
Yeah.
Were there children with you at all? Did any of the girls have children?
Well, see, when we came to Auschwitz, they took the little children, took the child by the feet and smacked them against the walls. Killed the children instantly.
That's right when you came to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So the old people were
So
taken,
the old
the
people,
children were
the old
smashed.
people was taken on one side.
Uh-huh.
The children right away they took away on the other side, and the young people took in a different direction to
Sarah,
us.
did you see that happen to the children?
Yeah,
Yes, uh-huh.
sure.
Uh-huh. And again, it was this, like you say, it
Sure.
was feeling
Oh,
like
you just
stone.
got, stoned. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you didn't know nothing.
Uh-huh.
We knew what is happening,
Right.
but we got so bitter that we didn't
Yes.
know
Yeah.
what's going to happen to us next.
And there was never any certainty or any
No.
predictability about that at
Mm-mm.
all. In Danzig, was it any different in terms of the food you were given or the way you slept?
Just once a day.
Once a day there was
Yeah,
food?
but it was bunk beds.
That was bunk beds?
Yeah.
And so you had your own bed?
It was, yeah. It's
and there-
already a little better than the Auschwitz.
But still just a board? No pillow, no
Oh,
cover?
it was a pillow, it was a mattress.
Uh-huh. So it was a
Yeah.
little different.
But still, it's no showers
Uh-huh.
in there, and and lice was everybody had lice.
Is that
and
right?
in the winter, I had to take a cement bag and put on
You wore a cement bag.
a cement bag,
Uh-huh.
and I took off the dress and cleaned it with snow.
Oh, was that right? To
Yeah,
clean
to
your
be
dress? Uh-huh.
to survive,
Uh-huh.
so the lice wouldn't eat you up.
Your hair was kept shaved?
Yeah.
It was kept
Yeah.
kept shaved. How
Yeah,
often did they shave your head?
And they shaved every, whenever. Not often, not really often.
Uh-huh. But you had to keep the lice out
Yeah,
of that. Uh-huh.
that's right.
Uh-huh. How did you keep lice out of your hair?
I didn't have no hair.
So without the hair,
See,
there
it
no
was
lice?
in the dresses.
I see.
In that one dress, you had
You
to
had
have.
in one dress.
You didn't have a dress to change.
Was this also a striped?
Yeah, that
the
dress was
Uh-huh.
a striped. I had it here in this country, but my husband threw it.
Oh, is that right? You brought it with you?
I brought it with me, and my husband
Wow.
threw it out. He
Wow.
didn't want to see it.
Wow. Wow. What made you keep it?
I don't know. I didn't feel like to throw it away. I had it in a box. I had the number here on me.
Uh-huh.
And see, some people got numbers on their body
Uh-huh.
engraved, and I had it on my dress.
And it was on your dress?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I had took it with me, but my husband threw it away.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So
We're going to change the tape. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. All right. What was she saying about the potato?
she is talking about the the camp where we was in Danzig. See, in the morning, we had to go out 4 o'clock in the morning and have a pill. They count like the soldiers, and it was a square of the 800 people to count every morning. And in the night, we came like a transport, like soldiers. It was about 50 in each group came in. So I saw a potato on the floor, and I picked it up, and that was it. They took me in the front of the 800 people and put a chair in the middle, and they smacked me 25 times.
Where on your body? On your face?
Most of it on the head.
On the head?
Yeah. And I was so, I didn't know that I was scared,
With their hand or a whip?
No, with like a police rubber.
The club?
Yeah,
Oh.
club, yeah.
Oh. Oh.
And I made it.
Is that the only time you were punished, or do you have other
Yeah,
memories?
because I picked up the potato.
Because the potato.
Yeah. It was a officer it was a German lady. Polish.
Why do you think they did not kill you for that?
I don't know, I was lucky, I guess. for a potato
For a
kiln.
potato.
Yeah.
Really. Were you ever in hiding? Did you ever hide? Or
Well, when we were walking from Danzig to Stutthof, to Gutenhaven, it was of course with soldiers guarded, and we were sleeping in a small town, and there we were in hay stacks, sleeping, me and my sister. So we fell asleep and we got behind. Everybody was going and we with nobody there. So we were scared to stay there. Somebody will come and kill us. That was in most of us Polish people. And so I told my sister, let's go and catch up with them, because we're going to get killed anyhow. So let's see what it. So we came there where we caught up with him. And he says that soldier, in Russian, he told us, he says, "You are so stupid. Why didn't you stay in that haystacks where you was?" So we told them we are scared. Somebody's going to catch us there and they kill us. So we came. So he didn't like it. It was a good Russian guy. He was ISS.
Is that right? But he was good.
He was good. So that night, they're supposed to take us on the ocean and dump us. That was the ocean. The last life hours. So about 4 o'clock, the Russian came in. And we heard the grenades and bombs and this and that, so we thought we were going to get killed there too. But we were sleeping in a barn with another lady with her 5 daughters.
And Leah and
that
and the
family.
5 children.
So we were quiet there in a corner, and all of a sudden we take a look in the barn little window, and there was hills in the back of there, and we see the soldiers running with their sables down. Instead to stay on duty, they were running in the woods. And we just got really excited. And I told the mother to get up and to come to see, so she came up and to see. And here we are by ourselves. The soldiers were going. Oh my goodness. The Germans.
How did you feel?
But
How did you feel?
Well,
did you feel then, or were you still stoned? Did you feel?
Well, it came all of a sudden to you that you're by yourself. No guards around you. And we looked in the front where the doors are open, the barn doors. We look in the front, and it's full Russian soldiers.
Oh wow!
So captain came in there and told us to go back, every one of them back in the barracks, and half of them was a Jewish one. See, and he told us to stay there till everything, because they can throw a bomb over us.
I see.
So we were staying, and then about noon we went out of there, and everybody was seeking a home to go into and to take a shower and to clean up and to put on clothes, something,
This was out in the countryside.
The country,
Sarah, I'm going to back up just a little bit so I can understand. That's an incredible story. When you say that was in
let me tell you
something. Gutenhaven. And you had gone there from Danzig.
From Danzig to Gutenhaven.
Again, they just said
that
we're
was
going.
Our last,
and it was a march.
Life.
And it was a march.
Going.
You had been in Danzig how long?
In Danzig, we were about close to a year.
Close to a year, working with all the
on
cement
the airport,
and then one day they said, get ready, we're going?
Yeah, because either the American or the Russian were
They
coming.
were coming closer. So,
See.
and they marched you to
They
Guttenhaben.
marched us, and a lot of kids got weak, and they shoot them all around.
As you were marching?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How long was the march?
Well, the march was, I remember it was a night, a day and night.
A
and
day
the
and
night,
night. Uh-huh.
the night is already, we dropped. We couldn't walk no more.
Uh-huh. And they let
So
you
we
stop?
dropped, and
Uh-huh.
it was on the snow. It was
It
snowing.
was snowing.
It was snow, and that time
Uh-huh.
it was spring.
This was spring?
It was springtime.
Uh-huh. And there was snow?
And it was between, I believe it was between, see, in Europe is the snow more than here.
Uh-huh.
Here is coming and going.
Uh-huh.
But there it start to melt down already. It's like before Passover, Easter time, you know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So it's around that time.
And you slept on the snow then? That night?
We were laying down, you
It's
know,
exhausting.
no energy, no nothing.
Uh-huh.
And then
How many
they,
of you were there? How many on this march?
well, from 800 girls, it was left about 350
Everybody else
who
had
was
died?
stronger, you
Uh-huh.
know, and they.
They had managed to survive.
To
The others had
survive,
all been
yeah.
shot or died of
Oh,
sickness?
if somebody sat down and they didn't want to go, they got shot.
There was not a crematorium there in Danzig.
No,
it
they
was
were-
just.
They were all along the.
This is just.
Then they picked them up, some people, and buried them or
I see.
dumped them in the water or whatever.
So a day and a night then to get you to Guttenhaben,
Yeah.
and then how long were you there then until liberation?
In Guttenhaben, it was overnight. See, they're supposed to, when it happened, this with the liberation, if it wouldn't happen in that evening, 4 o'clock in the morning, they were planning to dump us about
So you had
8 o'clock.
You had just gotten to Guttenhaben.
Just like that, that's
Uh-huh.
right.
I see.
And that was our last.
So and they were going to dump you.
Destination.
Describe that for me some more. That they were going to dump you into the ocean.
Yeah, they were to put us on a boat and drive us off, but in the middle part, and just.
And then just dump you. That was
Mhm.
the plan.
Yeah,
How did you
that
hear
was
of
the
the plan?
plan.
How did you know the plan?
That was some of the soldiers told us
They
what
told
they.
you that?
Yeah, what they planned.
The
to do.
SS soldiers. They were
Uh-huh,
telling you.
yeah.
Uh huh. Uh huh. And that's just the very night that you were liberated. I mean, at 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning, 8
So,
o'clock.
so again,
they're
another
supposed to
miracle there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
Uh-huh. And again, when you realized that the soldiers weren't there anymore,
Yeah,
and was it did you believe it?
I was scared. I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to that family there with the 5 children, the
Mhm.
mother with the 5 children. She says, no, it's not true, you know,
Couldn't
in
believe
Yiddish.
it, yeah.
And she went to look, and she just got herself with the hands like that. She says, my God. She says, I think we are by ourselves here. So we look, I went through the front. I had guts, you know. I went to the front and see all the Russian soldiers in the front. So they came in the barns and went with their knife things, you know, from the guns, and was looking in the haze if it's no
To
Germans.
see other Germans there.
Yeah.
Did they find any there?
Oh, they find in bunkers and the
Did they
houses.
kill them
yeah.
right then, or
They even asked us what to do with them.
they asked you what to do with them?
Mhm.
And what did you say?
Well, we told them to do whatever they deserve. So
And so they were killed there.
yeah,
They were killed there. Yeah, yeah.
but ours, special hours, I think they all got killed. See, because they were running away, and we
And they
find some pictures from them by the water.
Wow, wow.
So they
So-
probably suicide or something.
Oh,
yeah,
you think so?
yeah.
You and Leah were together then when liberation happened. And
Yeah.
was it the kind of thing where you jumped up with each other, or just did you
Well,
cry, or did?
It was no tears no more.
Still.
Was no tears no more. But she was very weak. And wherever I could get hold of some horse meat and things, I kept for her for nourishment till we got there on the, and then when we got on the place, you know, in a house, I cooked for her vegetable soups and things like that, and we didn't
nourish her back.
Yeah. So we didn't get eaten like, you know, it was a lot of horse and cows on from the bombardment.
That had just been killed.
So it's a lot of girls went and took some meats from there and cooked and ate, and it broke out a big typhus.
Typhus?
Yeah.
Was that right, from eating that?
From eating, and we didn't do it. I killed once a chicken and made a soup for her, and you know, cooked a little bit here and there, and then it broke out typhoid in that town. So we I told we have to go. It was about 18 girls in that house.
What town?
Yeah, what town was that?
It was in yeah.
So the liberation happened, you were in this barn, and then you were just taken to houses in the community?
To houses, yeah. But they checked out first the town, the
to
Russian.
make sure the Germans were
Yeah.
down.
And then they told us to...
How long did you stay there then?
We stayed there, let's say about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
Again, getting nourished back.
And then it's a lot of girls was sick, and we were scared that the town was infested with typhoid.
With the typhoid.
And I just told the girls, let's go, no matter where, let's go out of here.
Let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
And were you kind of a leader?
Well,
you said you were gutsy.
I was more a gutsy woman, really. Gutsy girl. So we went away, and then we came to a Russian, I forgot where it was, to a Russian Peresilny Punt. I remember even Russian. It's a place where those refugees coming in, and then they send you
to
further.
The next place.
Yeah. So we went to somebody, you know, who knows about those refugees.
And they were getting you ready then to go somewhere else?
To go somewhere else
did
with
you
the train.
And where did you go next? Were you sure that you wanted to go to the United States, or?
We were going, we didn't think in that time yet about nothing. We were going from town to town. Home I didn't want to go because it's nobody there. So, but our plans was to, we came to Czechoslovakia.
Oh, you came back to Czechoslovakia?
But I did not go home. But then, see, it was all over the country, Czechoslovakia, the refugees, free traveling wherever they want to go.
Really?
Yeah, no financial, no nothing. So I decided to go to Bucharest. It was a organization there where all those refugees came together. So I thought maybe I find another sister, which I find out that one more sister is coming, like Chaya.
Chaya was there.
Yeah, she came.
And you and Leah went together then to Bucharest?
Yeah.
What was the name of the organization?
Yeah, what was the name of the organization?
It was, I forgot, I can't think of it. It was, you know, a joint, like here in the center, you know,
Like a highest?
No, highest is something different. But anyhow, I went there, and we were planning going back to Czechoslovakia. But then we heard that the Russian become communistic, and we didn't want to go to communistic countries. So we were staying in Romania for a little while.
In Romania?
Yes, and people gave us shelter.
People were kind to you then?
Oh, the Jewish people,
The
yeah.
Jewish people were
Yeah.
kind. Was there
All
still
kind of people, they were
Yeah,
nice.
I wondered if there was still anti-Semitism elsewhere. I mean, did you encounter more prejudice?
Well, I
or
didn't
not?
had contact with nobody around there at that
Uh-huh.
time. See, but people were nice.
Uh-huh.
And then we applied. I knew I had a very wealthy uncle here in Worcester, Ohio.
In Ohio?
Ohio, yeah. And we wrote, my daddy had 3 brothers. One was living in that time.
Uh-huh.
So we wrote a letter that we just came from the camps and we don't have no homes where to go and we would like to come out. We had a lot of mishpucha here. Here Cleveland, we had a lot of mishpucha, very nice people. So they sent us papers.
Oh, is that right? For you and Leah and Haya?
Yeah,
too?
no, Haya didn't go. She was staying in Russian.
I see.
See, we left. She came after we left.
I see. So
But
just
we
you and
knew that she's alive
You knew
and
she was
she's
alive.
coming.
Ignatz also?
Huh?
Ignatz?
No, Ignatz was in Germany.
But you found out that organization
Yeah,
about it.
I find out that he's alive. Yeah,
Well, that
he's-
yes, and you found out who was alive. And,
Yeah, so I knew they gone to United States.
Uh-huh.
So that's how it was.
So,
that
so
we
this
came all
this uncle sent then for you and Leah
papers, yeah.
papers. And
papers.
how did and you were then?
One uncle sent for me, and one uncle.
And how did you get then? That was in Bucharest.
But I did not come from the uncle. I didn't want. He was very nice, but they didn't have
Which uncle was
well,
that?
Uncle Jack in Cleveland.
Uncle Jack. in
Another
Cleveland.
uncle.
Uh-huh.
So it's my daddy's brother. So we wanted to come from the house,
That was
and we
Sloman.
came from the house. My sister came from that rich uncle.
I see.
Schaefer.
Yeah.
I see.
So she had it really bad. Her coming here was not so hot. So we didn't want to come by to be obligated
To be
somebody.
obligated, I see.
So we just wanted to come by the house, and we came by the house, and
Uh-huh. Are you saying
and
by
the-
the highest?
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It's our organization,
Oh.
Immigration.
immigration.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
Jewish immigration.
Uh-huh.
But first you found your husbands.
Huh?
Didn't you get married in
You-
Bucharest?
Yeah.
You got
And
so while you were in Bucharest,
Yeah.
you picked up a husband. And,
Yeah. Picked up us.
Uh-huh.
I didn't feel like it. But
How did you meet him? How did you meet Jack?
how did I meet them? I tell you, when we came to Romania, so when I didn't want to go back home because of communistic thing, so we enjoyed the kibbutz, to stay on a kibbutz, me and my sister.
in Bucharest?
So, huh?
In Bucharest.
Yeah. So, so there it was my husband, which a lot of Jewish guys immigrated people to Israel. So we were there, and I was cooking a meal for 25 people. And he came there, and he saw me, and he had a discussion a little with me where I'm from, and I guess he had an eye on me, so so I knew him for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we got married.
After 2 weeks, you got married. My goodness. Wow.
Yeah, well,
And-
it's a story to it. My sister had also a guy, and she did not want to get married till I know married first,
Oh,
because she didn't want to leave me.
so you got married and then she got
Yeah,
married.
she wanted me to first.
Oh. So,
So
okay, we've got a.
it's my grandmother. She is 95 years old, and she came to Auschwitz to be gas chambered. And this is my aunt. That's a granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
What's her name?
Gittel.
That's Gittel.
Gittel,
Is your
yeah.
sister Gittel?
No,
No,
it's,
different Gittel.
it's my aunt's daughter was named
Uh-huh.
Gittel too.
And your grandmother's name was
Yenta.
Yenta. Uh-huh.
It's
Uh-huh.
a real name.
Where was this picture taken, do you think?
This picture's taken well in hometown, in Czechoslovakia. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and it was here by my aunt, but that rich uncle,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they gave me. That's all, but they didn't have a picture somehow
Uh-huh.
from my mother.
Oh, is that right, huh?
They gave me a picture of me when I was little, and I somehow lost it. I couldn't.
Oh,
I
my
can't find
goodness.
it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But this is my grandmother.
That's your grandmother. That's a beautiful picture.
Thank you.
The
She came.
When did they leave?
Oh,
The Schaefer family.
When did the Schaefer family leave?
oh, the Schaefer family. The Schaefer family lived here, and
Before the war they
oh,
left?
he left. He was a little boy. He left here to this country.
The-
Both of them, my aunt and the uncle.
Sarah, going then from Romania, how did you then, what countries did you have to go through to get to the United States?
Well, what country? Yugoslavia,
Uh-huh.
which I got married in Yugoslavia. And from Yugoslavia, we went to Italy.
To Italy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we came to Italy, and we stayed there in camps,
In camps, in
Yeah.
refugee camps?
refugee camps.
Displaced person.
So, which we had the American embassy, no? American embassy in Rome.
In Rome?
So we went up there and applied for immigration.
Uh-huh. And so from Rome to come to the United States
Yeah.
then?
8 years.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
You were there for 8 years.
After 8
excuse
years.
me. You were in Rome
I
for
was
8 years?
Italy.
My goodness. Uh-huh.
In Italy, I was in Cremona,
Uh-huh.
in Castel Gandolfo, there where the Pope Pius lived.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
And did you work there, or did your
No,
husband
we
work?
couldn't. We used to get cans from here, from our family,
Uh-huh.
and he was dealing and willing, to make a living.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And we were waiting for about 9 years there for immigration to this
Is that right? You
country.
had to wait that long before they would
yeah.
say that they could fit you to
Yeah.
come? Huh.
But at that camp, they gave food
That's
and
nice.
the joint, American joint.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So,
Did you come then to the United States by boat? On a
well,
ship or
we
on a plane?
supposed to go by plane.
Uh-huh.
And we just got even the tickets already, and then came down aeroplane in Rome on the Ciampino. It's on the airport, and I got cold feet. I was scared to go. I told my husband I want to go by plane.
Uh-huh.
2 children by then.
Uh-huh.
Oh, is that right? You had 2 children by
I
then?
had 2 children, yeah,
Uh-huh.
the boy and the girl,
Uh-huh.
Leo and Janice.
Leo and Janice. Uh-huh.
And then we went back to Rome and told them that I'm scared to go by plane. And they gave us a boat ticket. So what was the name of that boat? American
Constitution?
yeah.
And that's
I
the
have
boat?
even,
Yeah.
American Constitution.
Uh-huh.
It was a nice boat.
Uh-huh. And when you came to the United States, then what did you come with? What did you have?
Well, I had some clothes what I accumulated already, from,
Uh-huh.
and the 2 children.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, which was very important for us.
Yes. Well, you said you wanted a big family.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
wanted 6 children.
Can you say more about that? You wanted a big family because?
Because I lost whatever we got.
You were going to recreate.
I want to recreate the family.
Uh-huh.
And we sure did a good job. Didn't we?
Sure did.
That's really true.
5 children.
I am really proud of.
Uh-huh.
Very
Uh-huh.
nice children.
Oh, I hear you. Let me ask you, how do you think you were able to survive? How come you're sitting here today?
It just God's help.
Uh-huh. Did you keep your
What can I
faith in
say?
God?
Oh, sure, always.
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 And that helps?
Sure,
To
it
get
helps.
through.
You have to believe in something, you know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I just was hoping, you know. Of course, you was thinking so many people getting killed, but somehow God took care of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you feel
So-
about being Jewish now?
I am very proud of it.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, when I came to this country,
Uh-huh.
and I find some Jewish people on the bus, American Jews, and they start talk Jewish.
Uh-huh.
So I told them I'm very proud of my Jewish.
Uh-huh.
I am not ashamed of it. I'm
Uh-huh.
Jewish, and I'm going to be a Jewish
Uh-huh.
person. I respect every religion.
Yes.
I grew up between Christian, very nice people, and but you know, you grew up your religion. You
Uh-huh.
like your religion.
Did you come, when you came to the United States, did you go to Cleveland, or did you come to Nashville, or where did you go?
No, we came to Nashville
You came right to Nashville?
Yeah.
Why to Nashville?
because my brother and my sister was already here.
Oh.
See,
oh.
my sister left earlier than I did.
That's Leah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, my husband got a little sick coming here, and he had to stay in Italy for a little while till we can immigrate here.
What was he sick with?
Huh?
What was he sick with?
They thought that he has on his lungs something, a
Really?
little mark, you know,
Uh-huh.
for undernourished
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So he needed this, you know, to be seen and treated and
Yeah.
see, because United States would not let in.
Did you come without him then, and he came later?
No.
Or you all came together? Uh-huh. What effect do you think that all your experiences have had on how you've raised your children? How has all this affected how you've raised your children?
You mean here?
The
I
whole
raised
experience with the
I raised
concentration
my
camp.
kids
Uh-huh.
very nicely, as that I think, because my children, I didn't let know my kids what I suffered. I was looking
Uh-huh.
forward. I didn't look behind me. I was going forward.
Mhm.
I had the kids had their growing stages, and I was growing with them.
Mhm.
I played a part of the kids as mine, not like a mother. It's like part of the children.
Because
part
you
of
missed your
children.
childhood.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And and we never was. My husband started to live. The Jewish Center helped us out. They did very good. They didn't want us to get. We didn't like help,
Uh-huh.
so we went all the time to tell them we don't need nothing.
Uh-huh.
And my husband went for $25 to work a week.
Oh my goodness. Doing
Yeah,
what?
but in that time, by name his client, it's Hungarian. He was a jeweler,
A jeweler.
and he learned the trade there.
What year was it then when you came here?
54,
54. Uh-huh.
1954.
So he went to work for the jeweler.
He went to jeweler and made $25. But in those days, for $15, you went to the grocery and bring a full buggy with grocery. And now you don't buy nothing. And I used to save up
Uh-huh.
$5 a week.
Uh-huh.
And then I took them borders. I took them 2 borders.
You took in 2 borders.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
goodness.
made more money than my husband did, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I made money and saved up $2,500.
Oh my goodness.
and we bought a house.
That's when you bought a house. Oh,
And we went again in the
Uh-huh.
center and begged them not to send us no checks.
oh my goodness.
And till finally we got in the last check, so my husband took the check and took it back in the center.
And take it back. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
never was hungry. We
Uh-huh.
always had money.
Do you still dream about your experiences?
Well, I don't dream, but you know,
Do you have
it's
nightmares or anything?
no,
Mhm.
no. We think about
You
it.
think
I mean,
about
you
it?
know.
Uh-huh.
But as far as with the children, I used to tell them, but I did not want the kids that much to know and to hurt their
Mhm.
little hearts. You know,
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
didn't want, but they knew what was going on,
Mhm.
but not as much like they know now what's going
Now
on.
you've told them more.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But I know used to do. I saw my kids. One of them was twice sweetheart, and used to go on parties and chaperones
Mhm.
and dinners, and they everywhere where they go, I had to go with
Uh-huh.
formals.
Uh-huh.
And I told you, I enjoyed my
You just really
children.
wanted
I
to do that.
did. Sammy was Valerie's husband.
Uh-huh.
Sammy was twice Beau,
Uh-huh.
BBG, and I used to go. I used to do
Uh-huh.
things.
Uh-huh. How do you think all these experiences in the ghetto and in the concentration camps, and coming to the United States, how has all that affected you? How has all that changed you?
Let me tell you something. It couldn't be happier for somebody to be than for us to be in a country like this.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people here in this country, they don't know how to appreciate this country.
And you do.
That's right.
I hear you.
And whoever don't appreciate, they should go to. They should go there where they want to, not to be here in the first place.
That's your message to people.
That's
isn't
right.
It? Yes. Yes.
That's right.
Let me ask you one other thing, Sarah.
This is a wonderful country.
I
That's
shouldn't
true.
interrupt you. Yeah. Yes, and you really have the heart to appreciate it. You
Oh,
have
sure.
experiences.
Mine
yeah.
husband
Uh-huh.
never. What I want to tell you a while ago, that we never went to unemployment
Uh-huh.
or stay in line for food
Wow.
stamps
Uh-huh.
or for things like that. We
Uh-huh.
stand on our own.
Really on your own. Yes.
That's right.
How do you feel about the reunification in Germany now, with East and West Germany getting back together?
I don't know. It's who knows.
Mm-hmm.
Time will tell. But you know, Gorbachev, and you saw it on the television.
Mm-hmm.
They are pretty scared. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they are tough people.
Mm-hmm.
They are tough people. There's something to be scared of.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
Something to be scared of. In Europe, you know, they are scared of.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I hope it's not going to happen no more.
Yeah, really.
But it did happen with us.
Sarah, is there anything else you'd like to put on this tape to tell people before we finish? Is there any messages you'd like to leave with people?
Well, I just like to leave the people to be proud what they have here,
Uh-huh.
and to take care of this country, and to unify, and to be more better to each other than they used to be, you know, good. And
Uh-huh.
people get now a little stranger from their neighbors.
Uh-huh. And you
So
want
they
people to
should
be
come
close.
back and to work for their country.
Uh-huh.
See, and to be like I used to be.
Yes.
That's what my message to the people.
Okay. Hold
This
hands.
is a beautiful
Hold
country.
hands,
It
yeah.
couldn't be a better. Wherever they go, couldn't be better than United States.
Well,
So,
thank you.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.